Welcome to the World of Cricket podcast. On today's episode, Top 10 West Indies' greatest ever Test fast bowlers. Number 10. Kemar Roach. At the time of this video, Kemar Roach is a current Test player, playing 79 Tests and taking 265 wickets at an average of 27.8. Roach has a strike rate of 53.7 and an economy rate of 3.1 runs per over. Kemar Roach made his Test debut versus India in 2006. Roach has taken 5 wickets in an innings 11 times and 10 wickets in a match once. Kemar Roach's best bowling figures were 6 for 48 versus Bangladesh in July 2009 during the second Test at the National Cricket Stadium, St George's, Grenada. Number 9. Ian Bishop. Ian Bishop played 43 Test matches for the West Indies, taking 161 wickets at an average of 24.28. Bishop's strike rate was 52.22 and his economy rate was 2.79 runs per over. Ian Bishop made his debut versus India in 1989 and retired in 1998. Bishop took 5 wickets in an innings 6 times. Ian Bishop's best bowling figures were 6 for 40 versus Australia in January 1993 during the 5th Test match at the Wacker Ground in Perth. Number 8. Wes Hall. Wes Hall played 48 Tests, taking 192 wickets at an average of 26.39, with a strike rate of 54.28 and an economy rate of 2.92 runs per over. Hall took 5 wickets in an innings on 9 occasions and 10 wickets in a match once. Wes Hall made his Test debut at Brabhorn Stadium, Mumbai in November and December of 1958 versus India. Wes Hall played his last Test against New Zealand at Auckland in March of 1969. Wes Hall's best bowling figures were 7 for 69 versus England in February 1960 at Kingston, Jamaica. Number 7. Colin Croft. Colin Croft played 27 Test matches and took 125 wickets at an average of 23.3, with a strike rate of 49.32 and an economy rate of 2.84 runs per over. Croft made his Test debut versus Pakistan in 1977 and played his last Test in 1982. Colin Croft took 5 wickets in an innings on 4 occasions. Colin Croft's best bowling figures were 8 for 29 in March 1977 versus Pakistan during the second Test at the Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain, Trinidad. Number 6. Andy Roberts. Andy Roberts played 47 Test matches and took 202 wickets at an average of 25.62, with a strike rate of 55.1 and an economy rate of 2.78 runs per over. Roberts made his Test debut against England in March of 1974 and played his last match in December of 1983 against India at Chennai. Andy Roberts' best bowling figures were 7 for 54 in December of 1975 versus Australia during the second Test match at the Wacker Ground, Perth. Number 5. Courtney Walsh. Courtney Walsh played 132 Test matches and took 519 wickets at an average of 24.44, with a strike rate of 57.8 at an economy rate of 2.53 runs per over. Courtney Walsh made his Test debut against Australia in 1984 and retired in 2001. Walsh took 5 wickets in an innings 22 times and 10 wickets in a match 3 times. Courtney Walsh's best bowling figures were 7 for 37 in February of 1995 versus New Zealand during the second Test at the Basin Reserve, Wellington. Number 4. Joel Garner. Joel Garner played 58 Test matches and took 259 wickets at an average of 20.98 with a strike rate of 50.85 and an economy rate of 2.48 runs per over. Garner made his Test debut versus Pakistan in February of 1977 and made his final appearance in March of 1987 against New Zealand at Christchurch. Joel Garner took 5 wickets in an innings 7 times. Joel Garner's best bowling figures were 6 for 56 versus New Zealand in February and March of 1980 during the third test at Eden Park, Auckland. Number 3. Michael Holding. Michael Holding played 60 test matches, taking 249 wickets at an average of 23.68 with a strike rate of 50.92 and an economy rate of 2.79 runs per over. Holding took 5 wickets in an innings on 13 occasions and 10 wickets in a match twice. Michael Holding made his test debut in 1975 against Australia at the Gabba, Brisbane, and played his final test in February of 1987 versus New Zealand. Michael Holding's best bowling figures were 8 for 92 versus England in August of 1976 during the 5th test at the Kennington Oval, London. Number 2. Curtly Ambrose. Curtly Ambrose played 98 test matches, taking 405 wickets, at an average of 20.99 with a strike rate of 54.5 and an economy rate of 2.3 runs per over. Ambrose made his test debut in April 1988 against Pakistan at Georgetown, Guyana, and retired after his last test against England in September 2000. Curtly Ambrose took 5 wickets in an innings 22 times and 10 wickets in a match on 3 occasions. Curtly Ambrose's best bowling figures were 8 for 45 versus England in April of 1990 during the 5th test at the Kensington Oval, Bridgetown, Barbados. Number 1. Malcolm Marshall. Malcolm Marshall played 81 test matches, taking 376 wickets at a strike rate of 46.77 and an economy rate of 2.69 runs per over. Marshall took 5 wickets in an innings on 22 occasions and 10 wickets in a match, 4 times. Malcolm Marshall made his test debut in December 1978 versus India during the 2nd test match at Bengaluru and played his last test in August 1991 against England at the Oval. Malcolm Marshall's best bowling figures were 7 for 22 in June of 1988 versus England in the 3rd test at Old Trafford, Manchester. Thank you for joining the World of Cricket podcast. If you have enjoyed the content and would like to support the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe below. And we'll see you next time on the World of Cricket podcast.